How you doing? How you doing? Y'all doing good? Doing great? Now, this draft I don't know. I was hoping that we would get a pick, and we did end up getting a pick. But once it came time for us to get that pick, we ended up just we we ended up just trading the pick back to who we traded it to. So Chicago gave us the 56th pick, or they traded us the 56th pick for cash. And then once it came time to get the pick, or once it came time to pick, we kind of like, because the player that we wanted, or the player that they wanted, wasn't really available. And I have a feeling I know who it is. And it's a player I thought he was a good player, but as a player I didn't necessarily think fit our team. Like, everybody was excited or was hoping that he would be our pick because he spaces the floor as a big. But aside from that, it's kind of like, like he's kind of on the scrawny side, so he'll have trouble with the physicality as a center, the defensive side and stuff like that. If he's not making the shots, if he's just there to space the floor, it's kind of like, So I was like, I heard people keep saying a certain player, and I was like, nah, let's go somewhere else. Let's go with somebody who's athletic, somebody who can run, somebody who can switch, that will be able to lock things down, be a lob threat, and be switchable 1 through 5. And the guy I wanted from the second round, he ended up being there, or he ended up being there. He ended up being undrafted. And I was like, we got to get him with the 56th pick. But we traded the pick back to Chicago, so it was like there was no pick for us to even have. But then, because it was kind of confusing. It was more so we traded it to. So what happened was we traded it to Dallas instead. That's what happened. And then Chicago took the pick on Dallas's behalf. That's what happened. So I was confused that whole time, and then nothing was said about it. I was like, "What is going on? I don't understand this. I'm kind of confused." And then I was looking to see the people that I follow, that I watch all the time about Lakers news and stuff like that. I was like, nobody was saying anything. I guess they were confused too, or they were waiting a little bit. And I was just like, okay, well, I got to get more info. But it took like half an hour to really get info. So, but then we ended up getting like 3 people undrafted, and they're solid. It's size and length, and wingspan, and versatility and optionality. And then there was one that's primarily a shooter that was kind of like kind of hesitant on the guards and stuff like that. So I'm like, because we have a lot of guards as is, so we needed more length. But at this point, I really think, like, in free agency, it's gonna be a lot of picking up, getting. We can trade for a center. We're gonna get centers in the free agency. So because at the end of the day, in this draft, there weren't very many, because everybody wanted to get a big yesterday for the first round. But the only big, or the only 2 bigs that were available, that I guess that came to that was to our liking. They were picked before we even had a chance. So one of them got picked, I think, like 12th or 13th, and the other one got picked 20th. We had the 25th pick. So at that point, it was more of get the best player available. even if it is a guard, but it was an oversized guard that we got. He's between 6'5" and 6'6". Well, 6'4.5" barefoot, but 6'5 3/4" with shoes. So I just basically just say 6'6", and he got a 7'1" wingspan. This is as a guard wing hybrid, and he jumps out the gym. He is 42.5-inch vertical. Like I think I said it yesterday. So that's our guy. And then the guy that I wanted us to get with the 56 pick today, he is 6'9", 230 with a 7'3" wingspan, 44-inch vertical. He is a forward. He could play. He could do 1 through 5. He's athletic. I want those athletic. I want those athletic big wings or centers that could be lob threats, that could play defense. The athletic wings with length, with a build to them that can jump out the gym. This draft was full of them. And so the player that a lot of people wanted us to get, that I was talking about, that I didn't want to get, he's not really a lob threat. He's not really lengthy like that. He's not, he's like, 225 at 7 feet tall. So it's like he's on the scrawnier side. He doesn't have as much length. He may have blocked shots in college, but it's more of like he'd struggle with the physicality of the NBA. So it's like, don't really like. The only reason why people wanted, why some of our fans wanted him, was because he spaces the floor. He's a floor spacing big. But outside of that, a lot of other things he would just struggle with. So it was like, nah. I'd rather them be able to be a lob threat, rebound, protect the rim. Those are the best centers to put around the Don, to put around Luka. Hold up.